Hello everyone and welcome back to Chasing Adventures. Today I'm going to install Weboost Drive Reach Cell Booster in Overland version on the Subaru Outback Wilderness. So let's get right in. Alright, so Weboost has a lot of different versions and options when it comes to cell phone boosters, and I got the Overland version and I'll explain why later, but first let's unbox it and see what's all included in the box. So first we are greeted with the thank you card and an installation manual and the cell booster amp and the antenna with extension and antenna wires and the antenna spring and the thread lockers, the inside antenna which supports multiple cell phones, 12-volt power supply, finally the versatile mounting bracket which can be mounted directly onto the Overland roof rack or bars by using these adapters, or you could just mount it as itself, and the hardware to mount them. So like I mentioned earlier, Weboost has different versions and they claim that Weboost Drive Reach is the most powerful cell booster for a moving vehicle. And within Drive Reach version, they have a few different options. And I got the Overland option because the antenna is more durable, powerful, and made for off-roading or overlanding. And this mounting bracket only comes with the Overland package, which is 180-degree adjustable. So if the trail gets really dense or tough, you could actually adjust the antenna so it's nice and tucked away from the trail. And same goes for when you're not trailing and commuting in the city or to enter a garage, you could adjust the antenna so it's out of the way. So let's start the installation, which shouldn't be too hard. So before we start the installation, I don't have any roof rack or a bar that I can mount the antenna to. So where I'm gonna mount the antenna is on the Yakima awning rail. And to mount that, I got a L bracket from Home Depot, and I may have to drill bigger holes to fit it to the rails, but this is what I'm going to use. Now that I have made the holes big enough for the bolts to go through, now I need to make holes to fit the antenna. Perfect. Alright, so I have the mounting bracket installed to the L bracket, and I did use the longer bolt with the washer and a lock washer. So let's go ahead and put this onto the railing. And since the bracket is going to be held on by these two bolts on the top only, I put 3M double-side tape just for cautionary purposes. Alright, now for the antenna, you have this cable here, and what you're going to do is remove this red cap and feed it through the 13-inch extension. And you're going to apply thread lock here and screw this. And within the box, you have this adapter. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this adapter in here and feed the wire out. And use lock thread here and tighten this. And if you want to use the spring, then you put thread locker, screw this on, and then you screw this end point to the actual mount. So again, here it is. This is the antenna. Thread locker, screw it. Thread locker, screw it. Feed the wire out. Thread locker, screw it. And screw this onto the bracket. That's it. Alright guys, it's mounted now, and all we have to do is wire the rest of the wiring into the car, and that should be it. And look at how much it extends from the car. I think this will work out pretty well. And here's a closer look. So I have the 5/16 bolt coming out from the railing. And this is the L bracket, and I put double-side tape on the back. And then we got the Weboost adapter here. So if we're not going to be using it, all we have to do is pull the leveler out and fold it in. And now it's nice and tucked away. Cool. And they provide you with the heat shrink wrap. So since it's going to be on the outside of the car, I did use it and heat shrunk it. And now let's go ahead and run the wires into the car. Okay, so to run the wires from outside of the car, I slit open a little tiny hole big enough to feed the wires through, and it comes out from the bottom, and the wire will come out right here. Okay, and basically we just have to tuck it under the headliner and then feed it through. Alright, so I got the wire out and I fed it through, reached it in here, and I was able to grab it. And this panel is just held on by these tabs, so all you have to do is kind of pull it down and it'll pop right out. And then now we're gonna feed the wire through here feed the wire right in here and bring it all the way down, tuck it underneath this plastic piece, and run the wires like that. I think that'll be the easiest. Okay, so I was able to feed it through behind this plastic liner and run it all the way out here. I'm gonna continue to squeeze this in, and luckily there's enough room here for the wires to go into, like that. Alright guys, so I was trying to put this under the seat, but there's no space. It's very tight in there. And the wire is kind of short for it to go under the passenger seat, which is the most ideal place where this should stay. However, that's not Weboost's fault, because the way I wired it, I shouldn't have, but I wanted to have a cleaner install. So what I did was, instead of running the wire straight into the car from the antenna, I didn't want any wires hanging out here. So what I did was I looped it on the Thule bar and I came back into the car. So that amount of wire is just enough for it to go in there. So for my test purposes, I'm just gonna leave it where it sits, because no one really sits here, and to see if it's really actually worth it. And if it is, then I'm gonna have to rewire it and put it under, tuck it under the passenger seat, and we should be good to go. So at this point, all we have to do is plug the 12-volt power supply into the cigarette jack port, which is located inside the armrest, or there's one inside the glove box as well. So your choice. And for the inside antenna, they wanted you to mount it onto the seat, but I preferred not mounting it anywhere, because if I'm at a camp and I want to use the phone outside of the car, this wire is pretty long, so I could drag it out and use it outside as well. So that's why I'm not gonna mount this anywhere. And plus, my phone usually stays here on the dashboard, so you know, to be here, it's kind of away. So if anything, maybe I might just leave it here in front and just drive it and use the phone. And when I'm at campsite, all I have to do is just take this out of the vehicle and I could use it outside. So that's why I'm not gonna mount it. Alright, so that wasn't too bad, other than the wire being a little short. But again, that was totally my fault. And if I need to, I may have to rewire it. But now that everything is installed, I wanted to mention one thing. And that is, I've seen some negative reviews on this device saying it doesn't work or I don't get coverage. And that's so much true, because you're not gonna get coverage everywhere. Meaning, if where you are has no cell signal at all, it's not gonna work, because this is not a satellite messenger like the Garmin InReach or SpotX. And those units will get you covered and be able to only send and receive text everywhere via satellite. But they do have monthly subscription fee, and it's only messaging service. And Weboost will only work if there's a weak cell signal, hence the name Weboost Cell Booster. So as long as you know what to expect, this should be a great option for any adventure seekers. And the campgrounds that I go to the most have a weak cell signal, which comes in and out. So for those places, this should work as intended. And I'll be testing this unit throughout my adventures, and I'll make a separate video of my experience. So make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification so you won't miss when my next video is uploaded. And also, if this installation video was helpful, please hit the like button as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, keep chasing adventures, and bye for now.